believed the old house was haunted until I stepped inside at midnight. The air was thick with dust and the scent of decay. Each creaking floorboard beneath my feet sounded like a whisper. Moonlight barely reached the corners, leaving shadows that seemed alive. I felt eyes on me, though I was utterly alone. A chill ran down my spine as the front door slammed shut behind me. My flashlight flickered, barely illuminating the peeling wallpaper. Something soft brushed against my ankle, but nothing was there. I swallowed hard, convincing myself it was just the wind. Then I heard the faintest scratching from upstairs. I froze, each heartbeat thundering in my ears. The scratching grew louder, echoing through the empty hall. A picture frame fell to the floor, shattering into sharp shards. I jumped, but no one appeared in the hallway. The air grew colder and I could see my breath misting. A door at the end of the hall slowly creaked open on its own. I could hear faint whispers, just beyond comprehension. My flashlight caught the reflection of a pale face in the mirror. I blinked and it was gone, leaving only my own terrified reflection. A low hum began to resonate through the floorboards. I tried to call out, but my voice caught in my throat. A shadow darted across the wall, faster than any human could move. The sound of chains dragging echoed faintly behind me. I felt an icy hand graze my shoulder, though no one stood there. My legs trembled, but I forced myself to move forward. The whispering grew clearer, chanting words I couldn't understand. The walls seemed to close in, warped as if alive. Something scraped along the ceiling above, just out of reach. I stumbled over a loose floorboard, the sound deafening in the silence. Shadows pooled in corners, moving against logic and light. A faint crying echoed from the basement below. I hesitated, but curiosity pushed me to the staircase. The stairs groaned with every careful step I took downward. My flashlight flickered again, revealing dark stains on the walls. The crying turned into muffled screams that made my blood run cold. A sudden gust extinguished the flashlight, leaving me in darkness. I fumbled for my phone, its weak light barely piercing the black. The whispers now surrounded me, circling in every direction. Something cold brushed my neck, leaving a trail of icy fear. I turned slowly, but saw nothing except shadows stretching unnaturally. A door slammed somewhere behind me, echoing endlessly. I could hear footsteps approaching, though I saw no one. The air vibrated with a low, mournful moan. I tried to run, but the floor seemed to pull me back. A soft giggle echoed from above, high and unnerving. My flashlight flickered back on, revealing a figure at the end of the hall. Its eyes glowed faintly, impossible and otherworldly. I froze, unable to scream or move. The figure tilted its head, studying me with unnatural patience. Then it vanished in an instant, leaving only darkness. I could hear whispers forming words now, calling my name. My phone died, leaving me in absolute silence but for the echoes. The walls seemed to breathe, expanding and contracting around me. A floorboard beneath me cracked sharply, startling me further. I could feel something watching from the corners of my vision. The faint crying returned, now directly behind me. I spun around, seeing nothing but shadows dancing unnaturally. A cold hand gripped my wrist, icy and firm. I yanked free, heart pounding, but felt another brush against my back. The whispers turned into soft laughter, cruel and childish. I ran blindly, my shoes scraping against broken wood. Doors slammed one by one as if the house itself resented me. The walls moaned, whispering secrets I could barely comprehend. I tripped down a short flight of stairs, hitting the floor hard. Something crawled over the wall, moving impossibly against gravity. I scrambled to my feet, breath ragged, and ran for the exit. The front door stood wide open now, though I swore I closed it. A figure blocked the threshold, tall, thin, and shadowed. Its face was featureless, yet I felt its gaze pierce through me. I stumbled backward, falling, and the figure advanced slowly. The whispers roared now, deafening and incoherent. I could feel the temperature drop to freezing instantly. My hands shook violently as I tried to escape. The figure stopped inches from me, bending slightly, tilting its head. A single piercing laugh echoed, seeming to come from inside my own skull. The lights flickered and the figure was gone once more. I bolted outside, gasping for air, the night silent except for my heartbeat. When I turned back, the house was still, but windows glowed faint red. I swear I saw shadows move behind the curtains watching me, and in that moment I knew the house was not done with me. It started with a phone call in the dead of night. a voice whispering secrets I never wanted to hear. I froze in bed, my heart hammering against my ribs like a drum. The room felt colder than usual, shadows stretching unnaturally across the walls. Every time I moved, I thought I heard faint footsteps behind me. The voice on the line laughed softly, sending shivers down my spine. I tried to hang up, but the call wouldn't end, the line dead yet alive. A window creaked open slightly, though I was certain I had locked it. The moonlight illuminated a dark figure standing just outside. I blinked and it vanished, leaving only a lingering sense of dread. The whispering continued, now coming from the walls themselves. I could hear my own name, drawn out and twisted in an unnatural way. A faint scratching sounded at the door, slow and deliberate. My hands trembled as I reached to lock it again. The air grew thick as if I was breathing through water. Shadows on the floor shifted, forming shapes that were not human. I saw a reflection in the mirror that didn't match my movements. The phone rang again, though I had thrown it across the room. I forced myself to answer, and the silence on the other end was worse than noise. A sudden gust blew through the room, scattering papers across the floor. I noticed a dark smear on the wall, growing with every passing second. The whispers became words I could understand, promising things I feared. I tried to leave, but the hallway seemed longer than it should have been. Each step echoed back as if mocking me. A cold hand touched my shoulder from behind and I spun around. Nothing was there, yet the feeling lingered. I saw shadows crawling up the walls, moving like living creatures. The lights flickered, revealing glimpses of figures in every corner. I stumbled into the kitchen, but the room was unfamiliar, warped. A cupboard door opened by itself, revealing darkness that seemed to breathe. My stomach churned as a whisper hissed from inside it, calling my name. I backed away slowly, but the floorboards creaked under invisible weight. The temperature dropped sharply, frost forming on the windows. I could see my breath misting in the pitch-black air. A soft giggle echoed from the ceiling, high and menacing. The whispers now circled me, coming from every direction. I reached for the stairs, but they seemed to twist impossibly under my feet. A faint figure appeared at the top, pale and featureless. It raised a hand slowly, beckoning me upward. I tried to run, but the hallway extended endlessly, never letting me escape. A mirror on the wall reflected a version of me I didn't recognize. Its eyes were hollow, and its mouth twisted in a cruel grin. The laughter grew louder, echoing in my mind, drowning reason. I felt the walls close in, like a vice tightening around me. Something wet brushed my leg, cold and sticky. I looked down, and there was nothing, but the sensation persisted. The shadows seemed to rise, forming hands that reached for me. I stumbled backward into the living room, furniture rearranged unnaturally. The ceiling above rippled as if liquid, threatening to collapse. A soft whisper tickled my ear, promising pain I couldn't imagine. I ran for the door, but it disappeared, replaced by another wall. The phone rang once more, and the voice spoke clearly. "You cannot leave." I covered my ears, but the sound penetrated anyway. The lights went out completely, leaving me in suffocating darkness. My hands found the stairs, but they twisted under my touch. Something crawled along the walls, skittering like insects. I stumbled down into the basement, heart hammering. The room was filled with old, broken furniture and a lingering fog. A dark figure waited at the far end, watching silently. Its presence made the air heavy, suffocating me slowly. I tried to speak, but no sound came out. The figure advanced slowly, yet I couldn't move my legs. Shadows wrapped around my ankles, holding me in place. My pulse raced and my vision blurred. The whispers now chanted, forming words I could not repeat. The walls groaned and dust fell like rain from the ceiling. I could feel something breathing down my neck, though nothing was there. The figure tilted its head, motionless but terrifying. A sudden scream erupted from the darkness, deafening and close. My body convulsed and I fell to the floor, gasping. The basement door slammed shut, sealing me inside. The figure's shadow stretched across the room, reaching impossibly far. I tried to move again, but my limbs refused to obey. The laughter returned, echoing endlessly through my skull. I closed my eyes, hoping it would vanish. When I opened them, the room was empty, but the air still vibrated with menace. A cold breeze brushed past me, carrying whispers I could almost understand. I crawled toward the stairs, every step dragging me further into fear. The front door appeared ahead, slightly ajar, inviting yet terrifying. As I stepped out, the night was still, but a shadow lingered at the window. I knew then whatever haunted that house would never let me go. The old lighthouse stood abandoned at the cliff's edge, waves crashing violently below. Locals whispered that it was cursed, haunted by the keeper who vanished decades ago. I arrived at dusk, the sky bleeding shades of red and gray. The wind howled, carrying faint, unintelligible whispers across the rocks. My flashlight flickered as I climbed the spiral staircase inside the lighthouse. The metal steps groaned under my weight, echoing ominously. Each turn revealed peeling paint and old rusted railings. A shadow darted across the wall, too fast for a human. I froze, heart hammering, staring at the empty hallway. Something scratched the floor above, slow and deliberate. I called out, my voice swallowed by the roaring wind outside. A gust blew through a broken window, scattering old papers and dust. I noticed footprints in the dust, though I was alone. The shadows seemed to twist, forming shapes that writhed unnaturally. I pressed forward, drawn to the light at the top of the lighthouse. A faint, cold laughter echoed high and haunting. My flashlight caught the reflection of a pale figure at the stairwell. It vanished the moment I blinked, leaving only dread behind. The spiral staircase seemed longer, stretching impossibly upwards. I could hear whispers in the walls, chanting words I didn't understand. The temperature dropped sharply, frost forming on the railing. A sudden banging shook the floor as if someone was trying to escape. I stumbled, grasping the railing, my breath forming mist. Shadows climbed the walls alongside me, spindly and slow. I reached the top, a room filled with broken lanterns and old maps. A soft moan resonated from the center of the room, deep and guttural. I could feel eyes on me, though no one was there. The door slammed behind me, echoing endlessly. My flashlight flickered, revealing a figure at the far end. It was tall and thin, featureless, yet terrifyingly solid. I stepped back, my pulse racing, but it mirrored my every move. A cold wind swept through the room, extinguishing every lantern. The whispers became words, distorted and cruel. I could feel an unseen force pressing against my chest. The figure glided toward me, slow, patient, inevitable. I stumbled toward the railing, but the staircase behind had disappeared. Shadows wrapped around my ankles, dragging me backward. I screamed, but the sound was muffled, absorbed by the darkness. The lighthouse walls seemed to pulse, alive with some unseen heartbeat. I dropped my flashlight and it rolled across the floor, casting erratic light. The figure tilted its head, observing, silent but menacing. My hands trembled as I tried to grasp the railing again. The whispers turned into laughter, hollow and endless. I fell to my knees, the cold seeping through my clothes. A shadow darted across the ceiling, impossible and fast. I could hear chains dragging somewhere below, clanging with each step. The wind outside howled like a living creature, echoing inside. I felt something brush my shoulder, icy and insistent. I spun around, but the room was empty, shadows stretching unnaturally. The figure appeared closer, gliding effortlessly, surrounding me with darkness. I tried to flee, but the floor shifted, disorienting me completely. My heart pounded so loudly I could hear it over everything else. The whispers roared, calling my name again and again. I felt hands on my legs, holding me down without touch. The walls warped, bending in ways impossible in reality. My flashlight flickered back on, revealing the figure inches away. Its form shifted constantly, solid yet intangible at the same time. I stumbled backward, tripping over debris scattered on the floor. The shadows now filled the entire room, moving with purpose. A scream erupted behind me, though no one was there to make it. I crawled toward the stairs desperately, each second stretching endlessly. The figure glided after me, silent, patient, unstoppable. I reached the railing and looked down. Nothing but darkness and crashing waves. The whispers intensified, forming a chorus of distorted voices. My hands slipped, sending me sliding down the spiral staircase. The figure followed, bending impossibly to the shape of the stairs. I tried to block it with a broken lantern, but it passed through effortlessly. The lighthouse seemed to stretch taller, unreal, impossible. I grasped the final railing desperately, feeling frostbite in seconds. The figure loomed above me, featureless eyes boring into my soul. I shouted, but my voice echoed back distorted and terrifying. A gust of wind threw me outside, but the cliff below seemed endless. I scrambled backward, chest heaving, seeing shadows move in the waves. The lighthouse door slammed shut, though I had just exited. I turned to run, but the entire structure was surrounded by unnatural fog. My breath caught as I realized I couldn't see the land behind me. The whispers formed a single word, echoing endlessly. Forever. I looked up. The lighthouse's top window glowed red with unseen fire. A shadowy figure waved at me, impossibly far yet impossibly close. I ran blindly into the night, knowing the lighthouse would never let me go.